Hey, what's happening everyone? Journeyman here, and welcome back to Weston Super Mare. Today we take on Northampton in what could be a very important game as we attempt to avoid relegation. Once again everyone, welcome back to Weston Super Mare. So before we go into today's game up against Northampton, let's take a look at some of the more recent results. So in the last game, remember it was an absolute drubbing. It was a 4-1 defeat against Barrow, an appalling defensive display to say the very least. But now we take on Maidstone and we got some of that goal difference back. We comfortably beat them 5-1. 5 individual goal scorers, which is very pleasing to see. James Jenkins, Sakuna, Devine, Southall and Williams. Loza got a goal in the first half, extra time, and he also missed a penalty. Another good save from Luke Pennell. That is definitely his specialty. Then we beat Macclesfield 1-0 to keep the good form going. Joe Steele getting a rare goal in the 20th minute of the game. We followed that then with a 2-1 win over Dagenham and Redbridge. A good game to win because they were struggling in the league as well. Jenkins and Williams getting the goal, with Corey Whiteley getting a goal in the 25th minute for them. But that was a comfortable victory, a very good display all around. Then most recently we lost 2-0 at home against Lincoln. This is a very tough game. Lincoln aiming to try and get promoted this season, and it was just a very tough game from start to finish. We lost Aaron Williams early on due to injury, and he unfortunately will miss today's game. I think he has a pulled hamstring, so it'll be a couple of weeks until he's back and fully fit. So anyway, going into today's game, there's been no real news on the transfer front at all. I had sent Jake Watkins out on loan to AFC Telford. Well, he's not really getting a game for them either, so disappointed to see. I was hoping he would get some game time in. And we did lose Chris Barker and Clayton Fortune. They were tired. It actually happened in the last episode, but I forgot to mention it, so I just wanted to catch you guys up with that. So anyway, going into today's game, as I mentioned, we are missing Aaron Williams. He'll be out for 2 to 3 more weeks. But we do have Reese Wedderburn on the bench. He's been desperate to get a game in, so hopefully he'll step up to the task today and we'll get a victory we desperately need. With all those results and form, we currently sit 17th in the table. We are 7 points ahead now of Bromley, so we're actually in a really nice spot. But again, if we win today, it's going to help us out. Obviously, we're catching up with the teams above us in the table. If we actually win today with this game in hand, we potentially could move up to 14th in the table, which would be a very comfortable mid-table place to be right now. One mid-table place to be. Sorry, a very comfortable place to be at this point of the season. So anyway, going up against Northampton today, they are struggling. As you can see, they are 23rd in the table with only 26 points. So for them up top, they have Connor Robinson now. It's a player that actually can score a lot of goals at this level, and so far he's done very well this season with 17 in 27 games. Next to him is another deadly player. That's Montel Gibson, 7 goals in 27. That doesn't really do him justice. I know him from a previous save. He's a very, very talented striker. So anyway, for us today, I mentioned with those changes, we got Luke Pennell in goal, Bignett, Steele, Devine at the back with Turner, Sweeney, Brearley, Sukona, Jenkins, and Southall, and obviously Reese Wedderburn will play instead of Aaron Williams. And Dion McFoy Johnson will be on the bench to provide extra support if necessary. Scott Davis has returned to the team and he's playing very solidly, but again, he's not fully match fit, so I'm not going to risk him today. So here we go into today's game. Now, naturally, we are playing at home. We are evens favourite. I would want to win this game. Naturally, obviously, in the last episode, we lost it comfortably after I predicted we will win. So I'm not going to go as far as predicting we will win. But let's just say this is a game we should definitely be winning if we want to survive in this league. So here we go, kicking off here at home. Woodspring Stadium has actually now been complete, the upgrade, so that's very exciting news. Hopefully we'll see a good couple of replays and you'll see the new addition. We're up to around about 4,500 now in capacity, with potential to expand to 6,000 as well in the near future, should we be required to. But with the new additions, obviously they were required when we entered the Vanarama National League, so that's a huge financial burden we had to take on, which means we're struggling financially. But it's good to have the stadium back open, and hopefully we'll get some big crowds. Here's maybe a chance early on. Oh, and Southall missed. That was a good opportunity there. That was a clear-cut chance. Probably should have hit the back of the net. Alright, so we get the ball away cheaply there. Here's an opportunity for North Ferriby. Robinson shoots, and he probably should have squared it there. As you can see, Gibson there would have been an easy finish for him, but he decided to take on the shot, and it was a good save from Luke Purnell. And Brealey makes a good clearance there from the corner kick. Alright, so here's maybe a chance to score from that corner. Southwell goes by his man and just kind of runs it out of play there. Poor play from Dale Southwell. Alright, so what we're looking at right now. We're about 20 minutes in, and possession's good, which is pleasant to see. Our passing is also very good so far. 115 attempted passes to their 92. We're playing like Arsenal right now, which is pretty awesome, because I do like to play a very possession, passing-based game, very similar to the way Arsene Wenger plays. Obviously not the same level of talent, as you would imagine, so that's kind of the challenge, but it's good to see they're knocking the ball around. Alright, so 10 minutes before halftime, not much action to speak of thus far, apart from the early opportunity for Southwell, and opportunity for them as well. So, a pretty even game thus far. It should be interesting. And Lefaniel gives it away, the foul there. That could be a second yellow card. That'd be disastrous if we lose him. Yep, we've lost him. We're down to 10 men just before halftime. Very, very frustrating. So we're going to have to shake things up a little bit. Jenkins, I'm going to bring you off. I'm going to bring on Jack. Actually, do Delaney. Let's do Delaney at left back instead of Jack Lane. Thought bringing on Jack Lane, but Delaney is a much more natural player there, so that makes more sense. And obviously we lost the attacking midfielder, the playmaker, so it's a little bit of a loss there, but it's not the first time it's happened this season, so this is not going to be an alien situation for the boys. We've been down to 10 men on multiple occasions. Alright, so my assistant manager should say we've been lucky thus far. Can't really say that, but if it improves morale, I'll go with it. So let's go into the second half. Obviously, we are down to 10 men, so that does change the dynamic of the game. We're going to have to be careful on how we approach this, because obviously we don't want to lose today. But again, these are games that we should be trying to win if we want to solidify our place in the Vanarama National League. So here's maybe a chance. Bulls player went into Southwell's through on goal, shoots. Oh, great save from the keeper. Big nut places Southwell at the back post, but he can't get it under control. Another good chance there for Dale Southwell. Potentially could have made it 1-0 despite being down to 10 men. Alright, so we're approaching about 70-minute mark in the game. This is usually the point where I make a change. I'm going to bring off Reese Wedderburn. I'm going to bring on McVoy Johnson, play him as a target man, and play Southwell as a poacher. I've got to be careful of Devine as well as Big Nut, and a couple of midfielders. They're struggling with fitness right now, so that's something I've got to keep an eye on. Maybe in 10 minutes time I'll make another change to freshen some legs up, because as the game goes on, being down to 10 men, it does make things very difficult, especially when it comes to fitness levels. Alright, obviously Devine getting a yellow card as well. That puts us in a very precarious place. Alright, so just looked up, 89 minutes on the clock with 2 minutes of added on time. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring on Jack Lane just to finish off the game for Devine. I don't want to lose him again, and obviously fitness being an issue, Jack Lane can come in and do a very solid job to sweep up the game. So looks like it's going to finish a 0-0 draw. Not overly disappointed to lose, to not win today. But again, we didn't lose. We were down to 10 men for the majority of the game. So a 0-0 draw is probably an okay result in the long scheme of things. With that result, it does actually move us up to 16th place in the table. We are now 8 points clear of Bromley. So I'd rather have those points in hand. And as long as we're not losing games like this, we should be fine for the rest of the season. So that's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode. Obviously, Nathaniel Roturner will miss the next game through suspension. We have a couple of key fixtures coming up. We got Welland in the FA Trophy second round. That's a game we should be winning, really. And you never know, we might go on a bit of a cup run as long as we get some easy draws like that. Then we play FC Halifax next in the league. Again, that's another game we could potentially win there. 22nd in the table for Halifax. Morecambe, York, it's a tough one. Wrexham away at the Racehorse. You know what, for the next episode I am going to do York at home, just because I haven't played York in quite some time in a Football Manager save, so I feel like it could be a good episode to do. Be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they've made and what their team looks like. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode and this series thus far. If you're enjoying the series, remember to hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.